thought I'd put a video together with a couple of tips and tricks for remote learning, and in this case I'm looking at asynchronous teaching, so doing recordings. I think this is valuable for students because it means that they can access the work as and when they need it, and I also think that it'll help parents because if you say, for example, giving the schedule for the week, it gives them a bit of time to plan around that. And if you're doing some maths or English grammar lessons, even if it's quite basic, parents might need a little bit of time just to refresh their memories. So the app I'm using for this demonstration is called QuickTime, and it's really handy to use. So if you have a look at my screen over here and we go to Finder and you go down to Applications, I'll just enlarge that. We'll find QuickTime Player over there, and you can double click and open it, and then you've got it and you're ready to record. The other useful thing is obviously to right click and keep it in your dock over there. So if you go to File over here, you've got a couple of options. The one is just to do a screen recording where you don't feature at all, so you don't need to have your face on it like this. I'm just doing this to demonstrate that it's possible. And so if you hit the new screen recording, you will record whatever is on your screen. So say for example you were doing a maths lesson, my suggestion is that you have the maths lesson open, then you open QuickTime, and then you go new screen recording, and wherever your mouse hovers, obviously you're going to be highlighting things, so that'll help with students understanding. If you would like to personalize it and have your face on the screen like this, you would start with new movie recording, minimize the screen, put it in the right hand corner or wherever you want it, and then start your screen recording, and it works the same way. Okay, so let's have a look at, so that's QuickTime. So I think it's pretty self-explanatory, and the main thing is just to know what you want to say, because otherwise obviously you'll have take 1, take 2, take 3, which I've done a couple of times today. So if I open this window over here, okay, so this would be a speech for my year 10s, and say for example you really wanted to highlight one of the slides, and you could talk over them, and you get to this one and you think, oh, they probably understand most of these, but I really want to highlight the fact that if they use quotations, it's got to be from a reputable source or from a famous person. You might highlight that and then move on. And so as you can see, you could do a lesson, it's recorded, and then you've actually got it for next year. You might find that's, it's not during lockdown, but you've got students away or they're on sports tours, remember those. So, I just think it's worth knowing, so that's QuickTime. Okay, the next thing is Google Classroom. So I'm going to open up the window for Google Classroom. Okay, so a lot of us have got our heads around Google Classroom, and we're pretty knowledgeable about it. So I'll just go back over there. So you'll know that you can have your Meet link, and that's pretty permanent and it's embedded, so it's just for your students. So I think that's really worth knowing. The next thing that I want to point out, I'm just going to enlarge that a little bit. If you find that you have got too much on your stream, so you look at your stream like that and it really is a lot of work, you know that you've got these 3 little dots over here and they let you move to the top. Obviously that one is at the top, but let's go to this one over here. If it's important that's the first thing they look at, you could move that to the top or obviously delete it so that it becomes a bit of a cleaner interface. But a better way for the students to work is through classwork, and that's where you put headings, subheadings like these. So for example, if I went over here, if I hadn't put it under a topic heading, I could redo it over there. The other thing that I wanted to show you is, and I think this is probably quite important while we're in lockdown, I'll just go on to edit, is show you that you can generate originality reports. So you're checking for the good old copy and paste without students putting it into their own words. So I've already done it for that assignment, so I'll show you how to do it on an assignment that I haven't generated a originality report. So if you've already created it, go over here, go onto the edit button, and you see over here it says originality report. You just tick that. Okay, so I've done it for, you've only given 3 per class. That can be changed in admin, and I've requested that that gets changed in our admin. But for now, I've got 2 assignments remaining where I can use this. So you really want to think about the assignments that it's worth having a check, a copy and paste check. So I'll say continue. And that means as soon as students start adding their work, the originality report is auto-generated. And what it does is it highlights websites, and it shows you what the words looked like in their original form. And this very quickly, just through a quick check, you can tell whether a student has assimilated the work and put it into their own words, or if they've just done the copy and paste. Okay, so I'll save that over there. Right, the next thing I'm going to show you also on Google Classroom is, so let's go to the static image. So I'll click on that, and I'm going to show you some of their work. So click back onto the assignments. So obviously you know that, let me just enlarge this a little bit. You know that you can direct message them down the side over here. And I find that the students quite enjoy that, because it's called private comments, but they understand it as a DM or direct message, and it means that they can ask questions that they ordinarily wouldn't ask in front of other people. So I use that quite extensively. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, so I'll find one that's got quite a bit of written information, given that this is the static image, and so it's a lot of pictures. I'll just show you over here. Okay, so she's got quite a few drafts coming up, and I've got the private conversations going on there. But of course, if you go onto their work and you want to leave comments, you've got the option of this comment bank over here. And the comment bank is personalized by you, so you can add to the comment bank. So those are all the types of things that I've said over and over and over to students. And so you do find that they tend to make the same sort of mistakes. So I would just highlight a couple of things over there, copy that, and you might want to copy something else, maybe not using techniques, copy that, and then you can place that onto their work. And it really helps when you're doing things like paragraphing and essays.